In the outermost reaches of the Eridani sector, a place so far from known space that even the most daring starfarers avoided it, there existed a region whispered about in fearful tones, the Forbidden Zone. No fleet had ever returned from its dark expanse, and alien civilization spoke of it as though it were alive, a predator that devoured anything that dared enter. Yet, within this dangerous expanse of twisted gravity fields, unstable wormholes, and ghostly remnants of civilizations long extinct, one ship dared to venture. The warship Aegis Dawn drifted silently against the backdrop of glittering stars. Its hull, a deep obsidian black with streaks of cobalt light tracing along its sleek frame, reflected the faint glow of nearby nebulae. On board, Captain Kalen Voss stood at the main observation deck, arms crossed, eyes fixed on the holographic projection of the map in front of him. His face was calm, almost eerily so, but his mind was racing through calculations, probabilities, and contingency plans. Humanity had long been considered a minor player in galactic politics, a species barely capable of holding territory beyond its home system. Yet here he was, alone, poised to challenge the very edge of galactic understanding. "Captain," a voice called from behind, breaking the silence. Lieutenant Mira Lythe, the ship's tactical officer, approached with a data pad floating beside her. Mira was known for her brilliant mind and cool demeanor under pressure. "Sensors are detecting the energy anomalies of the Forbidden Zone. It's worse than expected. The magnetic turbulence alone could tear a ship apart." Kalen nodded, his jaw tight. "I know, Mira. That's why we're going in light and fast. No cargo, no unnecessary personnel. Only those who can react when the universe itself tries to crush them." His words carried the weight of conviction, the sort of confidence that only comes from years of experience, and an unshakable belief in the audacity of humanity. Below deck, Engineer Solon Eric was already at work, calibrating the ship's engines to handle the unpredictable forces they were about to encounter. Solon was a genius with alien technology, a rare combination of human ingenuity and fearless curiosity. "Captain, the engines are ready. I've reinforced the plasma conduits and tweaked the deflectors. Aegis Dawn should be able to handle the first wave of turbulence." His eyes sparkled with excitement. To him, danger was never something to fear, it was an invitation to innovate. Kalen allowed himself a small smile. "Good. Let's show them what humanity can do." As the ship approached the boundary of the Forbidden Zone, the stars outside began to twist and warp in strange patterns. Space itself seemed to ripple, as though reality were bending around some unseen force. The ship's sensors began to scream, detecting gravitational anomalies, energy surges, and signals that seemed almost alive. Myra's fingers danced across the controls, stabilizing readings as she called out, "Captain, the readings are off the charts. Nothing we've ever seen behaves like this. It's like the zone is aware of us." Kalen's eyes narrowed. "Then let it notice us. Humanity doesn't shrink from what others fear. We confront it." He turned to look out the observation deck, the weight of history pressing on him. If Aegis Dawn failed here, it wouldn't just be a loss of a ship or a crew, it would confirm the warnings of countless civilizations that humans were insignificant, reckless, and unworthy of spacefaring greatness. But if they survived, if they succeeded, the galaxy would remember humanity forever. Suddenly, a pulse of energy radiated from the depths of the Forbidden Zone, causing the ship to shudder violently. Lights flickered across the deck and alarms blared. Solon's hands flew over the engine consoles, adjusting stabilizers to compensate. "Hull integrity holding at 98%, he reported, grinning despite the tension. "We'll survive this." Myra's voice was tense but calm. "Captain, I'm picking up faint signals. They're coordinates. Old ones. From civilizations that no longer exist. It's almost like the zone is showing us a path." Kalen leaned forward, gripping the railing. "Show us the way then. We don't follow fear. We follow opportunity." At that moment, a message pinged across the intergalactic network, intercepted by alien monitoring stations hundreds of light-years away. Word of a single human warship entering the Forbidden Zone reached the capitals of the Svarn Dominion, the Zyther Collective, and the Arkari Conclave. Panic swept through their councils. High Commander Ilrax of the Svarn Dominion slammed his clawed hand against the command table. "One human ship? Alone? They've breached the deadliest sector in known space. This cannot stand." Advisors whispered, speaking of humans as unpredictable, reckless, and yet frighteningly effective. They had underestimated this species for centuries, and now one lone vessel had shattered their assumptions. Back aboard the Aegis Dawn, Kalen and his crew prepared for the first real test of the journey. The air shimmered ahead of the ship as ghostly silhouettes of ancient warships materialized, remnants of the Erythrian Empire, long extinct but preserved in some form by the zone. Their weapon systems, though ancient, activated instantly, targeting the intruder. Myra's eyes widened. Captain, automated defense fleet. They're coming in coordinated formations. The zone is testing us. Kalen's voice was steady, almost serene. Then we pass the test. Humanity survives because we adapt, we innovate, and we never retreat. He activated the Aegis Dawn's energy shields, routing power to the engines and weapons simultaneously. The first wave of ghost ships lunged, phasing through reality like predators through fog. Solon's modifications held, the hull absorbing the energy discharges that would have obliterated a lesser vessel. Mira maneuvered Aegis Dawn with uncanny precision, predicting the movements of ships that had not existed in centuries. One by one, the spectral fleet collapsed into harmless energy remnants, the zone itself seemingly acknowledging the humans' resolve. Kalen exhaled slowly, feeling the weight of the moment. Humanity had stepped into a place no other civilization dared, not with fleets, not with armies. Just one ship, one crew, daring to do what the universe itself expected them to fail at. As the ship drifted deeper into the zone, Kalen addressed his crew, voice steady but filled with quiet pride. Remember this moment. The galaxy will hear of it. Today a human ship entered the impossible, and lived. Today we show the galaxy that fear is not a rule. It is a challenge. And we are human. Outside, the stars twisted, the zone's energy rippling like a living ocean, but the Aegis Dawn moved forward, unwavering. Somewhere in the shadows of distant empires, alarms still blared, and advisors still whispered warnings about a species that refused to be ignored. Humanity had begun its legend in the Forbidden Zone, and there was no turning back. The Aegis Dawn pressed forward, gliding deeper into the Forbidden Zone. Outside, the stars seemed to bend unnaturally, twisting into patterns that made even the most advanced star charts useless. Every sensor reading screamed danger, but Captain Kalen Voss remained steady, his eyes scanning the holographic map projected in front of him. Humanity had never conquered the galaxy through sheer numbers or overwhelming firepower. Instead, it thrived through audacity, unpredictability, and the kind of courage that no algorithm could replicate. Captain, Lieutenant Mira Lythe said, her fingers dancing over the controls, the zone's energy fluctuations are intensifying. Magnetic turbulence has doubled, and the gravitational distortions are forming unpredictable pockets ahead. It's as if the zone itself is trying to crush us. Kalen's jaw tightened. Good. Let it try. The zone isn't a barrier. It's a test. And humans, we pass tests others fail. His voice was calm, but it carried the unmistakable weight of authority. He turned toward Engineer Solon Eric, who was monitoring the energy feedback loops from the ship's shields and engines. Solon's fingers flew across the console. I've rerouted power to the stabilizers and reinforced the hull matrix. The Aegis Dawn can withstand the turbulence, but not for long if it continues to intensify. We need to move quickly. Kalen nodded. Then we push forward. No hesitation. No retreat. As they navigated the twisted corridors of the Forbidden Zone, the ship's sensors detected something unusual, an array of ghostly ships phasing in and out of existence. These were not living enemies, nor were they purely mechanical. They were remnants, automated defense constructs from the long-extinct Erythrian Empire, designed to eliminate intruders who dared approach the heart of the zone. Myra's eyes widened. Captain, they're coming in formation. Every movement is synchronized. It's perfect coordination. We're facing a fleet that doesn't exist, yet it behaves like a living army. Kalen's lips curled into a faint smile. Then we'll fight perfection with creativity. Humanity doesn't rely on protocol. We improvise. The first wave of spectral warships surged toward the Aegis Dawn, their weapons emitting ghostly pulses of energy. Solon adjusted the ship's shields at the last second, absorbing the brunt of the attack. Sparks danced across the control panels, but the ship held. Mira maneuvered the Aegis Dawn with breathtaking precision, weaving through gaps that seemed impossible, predicting the phasing warship's movements before even their projections materialized. Captain, the drones are adapting to our maneuvers. Mira shouted. They're learning. Kalen's expression remained calm. Good. Then let them learn. We don't need to survive by being predictable. We survive by being human. The Aegis Dawn countered with calculated strikes. Its energy cannons, enhanced by Solon's modifications, struck the ghost ships with pinpoint accuracy. One by one, the constructs dissipated into streams of fading energy, their formations collapsing under the relentless ingenuity of a single human crew. As the final drone flickered out of existence, a deep hum resonated through the ship. The zone itself seemed to acknowledge their success. Outside, the twisting stars briefly aligned, forming a path forward, almost as if the universe were granting a cautious nod to their audacity. Kalen turned to his crew. This is only the beginning. The zone tests everyone. Some fail. We adapt. We survive. That's the difference between humans and everyone else. Solon, still monitoring the engines, let out a low whistle. I've never seen anything like this. The energy signatures, they're rewriting themselves around us. It's like the zone respects those who endure. Mira nodded, her gaze fixed on the holographic map. And the zone is far from finished testing us. I'm picking up multiple anomalies ahead. Some are gravitational. Others are energy pulses that don't match any known technology. Kalen's expression hardened. Then we proceed with caution and courage. There is no other way. Meanwhile, far beyond the Forbidden Zone, alien empires were in chaos. The Svarn Dominion, the Zyther Collective, and the Arkari Conclave had each dispatched fleets in anticipation of human failure. Every council chamber was alive with panic. High Commander Ilrax of the Svarn Dominion slammed a clawed hand against his command table. One human ship has survived the first test of the Forbidden Zone. We cannot allow this to continue. An advisor whispered nervously, Commander, the humans, they don't follow logic. They adapt. They improvise. Their survival here will inspire others. Ilrax's eyes blazed. Then we will crush them before inspiration spreads. Dispatch the fleets immediately. Let no human escape. Back aboard the Aegis Dawn, the crew had no time to worry about distant empires. The zone's challenges were relentless. A sudden surge of energy hit the ship, causing the hull to groan and lights to flicker. Myra's fingers flew across the control panel, stabilizing the energy conduits. Captain, this is unlike anything we've faced, she said, her voice tight. The zone, it's alive. It reacts to us. Kalen's eyes gleamed with determination. Then let it react. Humanity thrives where others falter. We survive because we dare to move forward when all else trembles. Hours passed, though time felt distorted within the zone. Each maneuver, each decision, was a test of ingenuity, courage, and resilience. The Aegis Dawn emerged unscathed from turbulence that had shredded lesser ships, survived ghost fleets designed to annihilate intruders, and navigated paths that defied all logic. The human crew had proven themselves, not just to the galaxy but to the very universe itself. As the ship finally drifted into a temporary calm within the zone, Kalen addressed his crew. This is humanity. Alone yet unstoppable. They said we were insignificant. They said we would fail. We've shown them that fear is no obstacle. The Forbidden Zone does not own space, it tests those brave enough to claim it. Solon leaned back, exhaustion mixed with exhilaration. We survived where empires would have faltered. Just one ship, and we made history. Myra's eyes sparkled with resolve. And this is only the first challenge. The zone has more tests waiting. Kalen's gaze shifted to the swirling patterns of stars ahead. Let them come. Humanity will rise to meet every challenge. The galaxy may tremble, but we will endure, and one day they will remember our names. With that, the Aegis Dawn accelerated forward, deeper into the Forbidden Zone, leaving trails of cobalt light against the dark void, carrying a single truth through the galaxy. Fear may control empires, but courage defines humanity. The Aegis Dawn moved through the Forbidden Zone like a lone predator threading its way through a forest of twisted stars. The vessel's sleek frame glinted against the energy storms that danced across the void. Inside, the crew remained vigilant. The first test had been survived, but the zone's depths promised far more peril, and the universe seemed to notice their audacity. Captain Kalen Voss stood at the observation deck, watching the warping constellations with calm intensity. The first wave was only a warning, he murmured. Whatever lies ahead, we need to be ready. Lieutenant Mira Lythe adjusted the ship's trajectory. The energy fluctuations are spreading. There's a pattern forming, though, almost like someone, or something, is guiding us. She frowned, her fingers hovering over the controls. It's sending signals. Ancient, coded in a language we've never seen. Engineer Solon Eric leaned over her shoulder, scanning the anomalies. I can't identify the source. It's not a known civilization. Not even prehistoric records show anything like this. But it's intelligent. The zone is communicating, or testing us directly. Kalen's eyes narrowed. Then we respond as humans always have. With curiosity and courage. As the crew probed further into the signals, a strange phenomenon unfolded. Long-abandoned communications channels, relics of extinct alien civilizations, began to pulse in synchrony. Names of worlds that no longer existed, fleets that had vanished, and technologies long forgotten emerged in fragmented messages. They were warnings, coordinates, and, somehow, directions. The zone itself seemed to whisper, guiding the humans where no one else dared go. The galaxy watches. Far beyond the zone, in the glittering capitals of interstellar empires, the news of the lone human warship spread like wildfire. The Svarn Dominion had scrambled every fleet in its sector, while the Xyther Collective convened an emergency council. The Arkari Conclave, masters of stealth and espionage, launched probes to track the ship, but all failed to predict the humans' unpredictable maneuvers. High Commander Ilrax of the Svarn Dominion slammed his clawed gauntlet onto the command table. One ship, alone, has survived the trials of the Forbidden Zone. And it continues forward. This is not possible. His voice boomed across the council chamber. An advisor, nervously adjusting his ceremonial robes, whispered, "Commander, the humans are unpredictable. They survive by improvisation, not strategy. No fleet could counter them if they continue." Ilrax's eyes glowed with frustration. "Then we must adapt. Mobilize our fleets. Send spies. Send assassins. Do whatever it takes. Humanity must be contained before it inspires others." Echoes of the past. Inside the Forbidden Zone, the whispers of long-dead civilizations grew stronger. Holographic images flickered across the ship's sensors, ghostly remnants of fleets, cities, and unknown worlds. Kalen studied them closely. Each projection revealed fragments of history, battles, technological marvels, and civilizations whose hubris had doomed them. Mira scanned one projection, her eyes wide with astonishment. "Captain, these messages, they're warnings but also instructions. They show pathways, starways, hidden wormholes that bypass the most unstable sectors. Whoever built this, they left it for the brave, or the foolish." Kalen's expression softened, a rare hint of awe showing on his face. "They left it for us. Humans. Not because we were expected to survive but because we dared. Humanity thrives where others fear. That is our gift." Solon added with a grin, "And our curse, apparently. These ancient constructs might be teaching us, or testing us. Either way, we're learning faster than anyone else could." The first contact. As the Aegis Dawn pushed deeper, the crew encountered a massive energy signature. A swirling mass of light, almost alive, hovering in the void. Myra's console identified it as an artifact unlike anything in recorded history. "Captain, this is not a weapon." "Not exactly. A core. A navigation system, I think. Possibly capable of controlling the Forbidden Zone itself." Kalen's eyes gleamed. "If we can harness this, humanity can claim a position no alien empire could ever challenge openly. But this is more than technology. It's a test of courage. A vision. Of what it means to be human." He stepped closer to the observation deck, staring at the glowing artifact. "The galaxy may tremble at our audacity, but we are not reckless. We are deliberate, adaptive, and fearless. We survive because we dare where others hesitate." Solon laughed softly. "And they say humans are insignificant. One ship, one crew, rewriting history in real time. A message across space." While the Aegis Dawn navigated the artifact's gravity field, Kalen made a bold decision. He accessed the interstellar communication array, transmitting a message to all civilizations capable of receiving it. "To the rulers of distant worlds, humanity has entered the Forbidden Zone. Not to conquer but to endure. Watch and learn, for fear is not a law and courage is not optional." The message was brief but it carried weight. Across the galaxy, in council chambers, command centers, and military outposts, alien leaders paused. Humanity was no longer an insignificant species to ignore. One ship, alone, had proven that fear was irrelevant when met with audacity. The zone responds. Almost immediately, the Forbidden Zone reacted. Streams of energy surged around the ship, forming shifting patterns that hinted at intelligence. Whispers of ancient civilizations echoed faintly in the minds of the crew, almost like a collective consciousness of the dead guiding the brave. Kalen turned to Mira and Solon. "We are not just exploring. We are setting the precedent. Every decision we make here will echo across the galaxy. Today humans do what no one else dared. Tomorrow, the galaxy will remember." Mira smiled faintly. "It's terrifying, but exhilarating." Solon added, "And this is only the beginning. Whatever comes next, We'll face it together. As the ship glided onward, deeper into the ever-shifting heart of the Forbidden Zone, the stars outside twisted and shimmered. It was a living, breathing labyrinth, testing every human instinct, every decision, and every ounce of courage. But the Aegis Dawn moved forward, carrying the single truth that had defined humanity for centuries. Where others falter, humans rise. Where fear reigns, humans endure. And where the galaxy trembles, humans dare. The Aegis Dawn glided silently through the heart of the Forbidden Zone, the swirling colors of alien energy casting an eerie glow across its sleek hull. The ship's engines hummed steadily, a rhythm of determination against the unpredictable chaos surrounding them. Captain Kalen Voss stood at the observation deck, his eyes tracing the undulating patterns of the zone. It was no longer just a place of danger, it had begun to feel almost sentient. "Captain," Lieutenant Mira Lythe said, voice tense, "we're detecting something ahead. It's difficult to describe. Energy readings spiking in patterns we've never seen, and projections. Holographic projections like memories. Entire fleets, entire civilizations replaying themselves across space." Kalen's jaw tightened. The past is alive here. The zone shows those who dare what has come before, how others fell, and what it cost them. He turned toward Engineer Solon Eric, who was busy recalibrating the ship's systems to handle the new phenomena. "Keep us steady, Solon. The zone may test our resolve next, but it won't find weakness here." Solon smirked faintly, eyes scanning cascading energy readouts. "Captain, these projections, they're more than warnings. They're challenges. It's as if the dead civilizations left obstacles specifically for those bold, or foolish, enough to enter." Kalen nodded, a spark of pride in his eyes. "Then we meet their challenges. Humanity survives where others falter. We endure because we adapt. The past is a guide, not a prison." The Erythraean echoes. As the Aegis Dawn moved forward, ghostly silhouettes of massive starships flickered into existence. These were not physical ships but residual imprints of the Erythraean Empire, a civilization thought extinct for millennia. Their vessels appeared frozen in time, suspended in a spectral battlefield. Energy arcs lit the void as these phantom ships fired at invisible targets, remnants of the last desperate conflict the Erythraeans had fought. Mira studied the projections, her face pale but focused. "They're not active threats, yet. But the zone uses their history as a trial. Every pattern, every maneuver, it's meant to test our strategy, our reactions, our courage." Kalen placed a hand on the railing, his voice steady. "Then we do what humans do best. We observe, we learn, and we act where others hesitate. Every civilization that failed here did so because it relied on routine. We rely on creativity." Solon laughed softly. "And here I thought my alien tech knowledge would be the real test. Turns out, the zone wants to see if humans can think like the unknown." A warning from the past. Suddenly, one projection coalesced into a full holographic image of an Erythraean admiral, clad in ceremonial armor that gleamed with lost technology. His voice echoed across the deck, distorted but understandable through the ship's translators. "Only the fearless may inherit the path. Those who hesitate are lost. Those who follow fear are consumed." Mira swallowed hard. "Captain, it's a message. From them, or from the zone itself?" Kalen's eyes narrowed. "It doesn't matter who spoke it. The meaning is clear. The Forbidden Zone does not reward caution. It rewards courage." He looked out at the flickering remnants of the ancient fleet. "And we are humans. Courage is in our blood." Solon's grin widened. "Guess that makes us more prepared than anyone expected." The ancient artifact's revelation. As the Aegis Dawn maneuvered through the spectral fleet, its sensors detected a new energy signature. A massive crystalline artifact, hovering at the center of a luminous maelstrom. The artifact pulsed with energy, sending waves through space that made the very fabric of the zone shimmer. Myra's fingers danced over her console. "Captain, this artifact is unlike anything we've ever encountered. It's ancient, far older than any known civilization. And it's functional. It emits signals that manipulate gravitational and energy fields. I think it's a control core, a key to navigating the most dangerous parts of the zone." Kalen's jaw set. "If we can reach it, understand it, humanity can claim a path that no other empire could challenge. But first we must prove ourselves worthy. The past is watching." Solon leaned closer to the artifact's readings. "Captain, the zone is teaching us. Or maybe judging us. Every previous civilization that touched this core vanished. But I think, it respects courage, initiative, and intellect. It's waiting for someone who dares." Kalen's eyes sparkled with resolve. then we will dare. Humanity survives because we confront what others flee from. We endure because we innovate. And today we show the galaxy exactly what that means. The first true challenge. No sooner had Kalen spoken than the artifact pulsed with a violent surge, sending a wave of energy crashing into the Aegis Dawn. The ship groaned as its hull resisted the blast, alarms screaming across the deck. Shields at 60%. Solon shouted, adjusting power distribution to compensate. We can hold for a moment, but the zone is pushing back. Mira guided the ship through the turbulence, weaving around streams of energy that could have torn any ordinary vessel apart. It's like it knows our every move. The zone is reacting to us. Kalen's voice remained calm, unwavering. Then we do what humans always do. We adapt. We act where others hesitate. Focus on survival, yes, but more than that, focus on mastery. This is our challenge to conquer. With precise coordination, the crew countered the energy surges, adjusting shields, engines and weapons in perfect harmony. Slowly the storm subsided, leaving the Aegis Dawn intact. The artifact shimmered, almost approvingly as if acknowledging their triumph. A human legacy begins. Kalen looked out at the calm after the storm, his expression resolute. The past has shown us what failure looks like. We've survived where others perished. The Forbidden Zone tests everyone. Some fail. We adapt. We endure. That is humanity. Mira let out a breath she hadn't realized she'd been holding. We're still here. Against impossible odds. Solon nodded, his eyes reflecting the glowing artifact. And we've learned more than any empire could hope to know. One ship, and we've rewritten the rules of the zone. Kalen's gaze shifted to the swirling stars ahead. Let the galaxy tremble. One human ship has entered the shadows of the past and emerged stronger. Today we honor the dead. Tomorrow, we make history. The Aegis Dawn pressed onward, deeper into the Forbidden Zone, carrying the legacy of humanity through a place where civilizations had fallen. The zone's shadows no longer intimidated them, they sharpened their resolve. Every flicker of light, every echo of the past, reminded the crew of one unshakable truth. Where fear rules, humans endure. Where the galaxy hesitates, humans dare. And in the heart of the Forbidden Zone, humans define their own destiny. News traveled faster than light through the interstellar communication networks. Across the sprawling empires of the Svarn Dominion, the Zither Collective, and the Arkari Conclave, panic erupted. A single human warship, the Aegis Dawn, had entered the Forbidden Zone, survived the trials that had destroyed entire fleets, and now emerged with knowledge and technology that could shift the balance of power across the galaxy. High Commander Ilrax of the Svarn Dominion slammed a clawed fist against his command table, sending sensors rattling. One ship, just one. And yet it has shattered our assumptions. The Forbidden Zone is no longer an obstacle for humanity, it's a weapon. We cannot allow this to continue. An advisor whispered nervously, Commander, the humans, they don't act predictably. They survived where the largest fleets failed. They are dangerous. Ilrax's eyes burned with fury. Then we will strike preemptively. Mobilize every fleet. Block all exits. Hunt them down before they reach civilization. Across the Zither Collective, the Council debated in chaos. Their analysts warned of a single unpredictable variable, humanity. One ship, alone, could not be predicted, controlled, or stopped by conventional strategy. Fleet admirals trembled as simulations failed, collapsing under the human crew's ingenuity. The Arkari Conclave, known for its clandestine precision and silent strikes, dispatched probes, only to find the humans were always one step ahead, anticipating traps no one had laid yet. Human ingenuity on display. Meanwhile, deep within the Forbidden Zone, Captain Kalen Voss watched the holographic projection of galactic transmissions intercepted from alien monitoring stations. His face remained calm. Humanity had never relied on numbers or overwhelming force to survive. Their strength lay in unpredictability, adaptability, and courage. Lieutenant Mira Lythe studied the tactical display. Captain, multiple fleets are converging on the zone's perimeter. They're attempting to cut us off. But their formations, they don't anticipate human maneuvering. One ship, alone, against entire fleets? They'll fail if they follow conventional tactics. Engineer Solon Eric leaned over his console, grinning. Which means it's up to us to prove what humans can do. If they want to test us, let's give them a lesson. Kalen's gaze hardened. Exactly. Humanity survives by daring where others hesitate. We will not flee. We will confront this challenge on our terms, and show the galaxy the power of a single, fearless crew. The first strike. As the Aegis Dawn accelerated toward the zone's inner corridors, alien fleets attempted to intercept them. Massive capital ships, bristling with weapons and shields, emerged from hyperspace, their sensors locked on the lone human vessel. Each fleet moved with precision, anticipating where the humans might flee. But Kalen's crew had already calculated every contingency the aliens could imagine. Mira guided the ship through twisting corridors of energy storms and gravitational anomalies, dodging entire fleets as if the zone itself were lending them its power. Solon adjusted the energy distribution mid-flight, channeling power into engines for bursts of acceleration, rerouting shields to absorb the most lethal blasts, and enhancing the ship's weapon output to counter threats before they fully materialized. "Captain," Mira said, awe mixed with tension, "the zone, it's responding to our actions. Every fleet maneuver we make, the zone amplifies our advantage." Kalen nodded. "Then we leverage it. Humanity survives because we turn challenges into opportunities. The galaxy may tremble, but we will endure, and inspire fear and respect in equal measure." A display of human boldness. The first alien fleet fired in unison, releasing waves of plasma energy and missile barrages designed to overwhelm any ship. Yet Aegis Dawn danced through the onslaught. Shields flared and pulsed with every impact, and Solon's modifications allowed energy to be recycled into kinetic bursts, propelling the ship in unpredictable directions. Myra's fingers moved almost instinctively, piloting the ship with the precision of a human mind unbound by rigid protocols. Where algorithms predicted certain paths, humans found new ones. Where calculations expected retreat, humans advanced. One ship, alone, had turned the galaxy's most disciplined fleets into a chaotic dance of missed attacks and frustrated admirals. Even as waves of enemy drones and warships pressed closer, Kalen remained calm. Fear does not dictate human action. Adaptability does. Courage does. Let them see that one human crew can withstand what empires cannot. Galactic repercussions. Every action by the Aegis Dawn was monitored across the galaxy. In the Svarn Dominion, Ilrax slammed his claws onto the table repeatedly, cursing the humans' audacity. "Impossible," he growled. "No species should survive the Forbidden Zone. No single ship should defy our fleets." The Zyther Collective sent diplomatic envoys and spies, hoping to negotiate or learn human tactics, only to be met with silence. Humanity did not negotiate with fear, it thrived because it faced it head-on. Even the Arcari Conclave, masters of stealth, admitted defeat. "They are unpredictable," one operative whispered. "We cannot anticipate them. They think in ways no algorithm can model." Victory and momentum. Hours passed, yet Aegis Dawn emerged unscathed. Alien fleets, frustrated and demoralized, were forced to retreat temporarily, unable to contain a single audacious human ship. Kalen's crew took a moment to breathe. Mira smiled faintly. "We survived. Against all odds, one ship, and they faltered." Solon leaned back, exhaustion and exhilaration in equal measure. "This is what humans do. We endure where others fail. We create when others panic. One crew, against empires, and we prevailed." Kalen's eyes swept the swirling energies of the zone ahead. "This is only the beginning. Humanity has proven it can confront the impossible. But our journey is far from over. The galaxy may tremble, but we will press forward, showing that courage, creativity, and audacity define our species." Outside, the stars twisted and shimmered, the Forbidden Zone alive and ever watchful. Yet the Aegis Dawn moved forward, its trail of cobalt light a testament to human resilience. Every pulse of energy, every maneuver, every survival against overwhelming odds was a message to the galaxy. One human ship, one brave crew can change the course of history. And somewhere in the command halls of distant alien empires, the tremor of that realization had already begun. Humanity would no longer be ignored. The Aegis Dawn surged forward, leaving behind the confused fleets of the Svarn Dominion, the Zyther Collective and the Arcari Conclave. The Forbidden Zone stretched ahead, a living labyrinth of cosmic energy, twisting stars and unstable wormholes. Every sensor on the ship was alive with readings beyond comprehension. Every warning blared, every alarm screamed. And yet, for the human crew, this was home, uncharted, dangerous, and full of opportunity. Captain Kalen Voss stood at the observation deck, his hands gripping the railing as the swirling energies reflected in his eyes. "This is it," he murmured. "The core. The heart of the Forbidden Zone. Whatever waits for us here, will define humanity's place in the galaxy." Lieutenant Mira Lythe adjusted the ship's trajectory. The readings are off the charts, Captain. Gravitational distortions, energy surges, it's unlike anything we've seen. This isn't just a place. It's alive, aware of our presence. Every movement we make is affecting it. Engineer Solon Eric leaned over the console, recalibrating the ship's engines to cope with unpredictable turbulence. I've never seen energy behave like this. It's almost sentient. But the Aegis Dawn can handle it. With some creativity we can navigate through it safely. Kalen nodded, a hint of a smile on his face. Then we will navigate it. Humanity survives by daring where others fear. And we will prove it again. The heart revealed. As the ship approached the center of the Forbidden Zone, the space around it began to shimmer like liquid starlight. Massive arcs of energy spiraled outward from a central core, a colossal crystalline structure hovering in the void. It pulsed with an inner light, radiant yet ominous, casting shadows across the ship's hull. Myra's voice was barely a whisper. Captain, that artifact, it's immense. The energy output, it's unlike anything in known space. I think, it's a control core. It might govern the entire zone, every anomaly, every warp corridor. Kalen's jaw set. Then it is humanity's task to confront it. If we can master this core, even partially, we will gain access to the knowledge and power of civilizations that came before us, and reshape the galaxy in ways no empire could predict. Solon's eyes gleamed with excitement. The potential is limitless. Navigational data, energy sources, ancient tech. The core could be a treasure trove beyond imagination. But it's clearly protected. The zone won't give it freely. Kalen's gaze hardened. Then we earn it. Through courage, through ingenuity, and through audacity. Humanity survives where others falter. That is our way. The zone strikes back. No sooner had Kalen spoken than the core pulsed violently, sending waves of energy crashing into the Aegis Dawn. The ship shuddered under the immense force, alarms blaring as shields flared. Myra's fingers moved at lightning speed, guiding the vessel through twisting currents of gravitational distortion. Solon rerouted energy from weapons to shields, stabilizing the ship against the assault. This is unlike anything we've faced before. The core is testing us directly. Kalen's eyes were calm, steady. Then we passed the test. Humanity survives because we do what others cannot. Adapt. Innovate. Endure. The core's pulses intensified, striking with precision that seemed to anticipate the ship's every move. Yet, through quick thinking and unconventional maneuvers, Mira guided the Aegis Dawn past the worst of the energy surges. Solon modified the shields on the fly, creating feedback loops that allowed the ship to absorb and redirect bursts of energy. For the first time, the crew felt the full power of the Forbidden Zone, not as a hazard but as a force they could interact with, a puzzle they could solve. The map of the ancients. Once the initial assault subsided, sensors revealed a hidden network within the crystalline core. A star map of the galaxy's most dangerous and secret routes, ancient wormholes, energy sources, and lost colonies. It was a repository of knowledge accumulated over millennia by civilizations that had dared to explore the zone. Myra's eyes widened. Captain, this map, it's a guide to everything. Hidden wormholes, resource-rich sectors, defensive choke points, entire civilization's secrets. Whoever controls this could dominate the galaxy, or preserve it. Kalen's lips curled into a small, proud smile. And now humanity has a chance to claim it. But this isn't about domination, it's about survival, knowledge, and courage. The galaxy fears humans because we act where others hesitate. We thrive where others retreat. Solon tapped the console. And now we can navigate the Forbidden Zone with confidence. All those anomalies, those dangers, they become pathways instead of traps. The knowledge alone, it's unprecedented. A message for the galaxy. Kalen turned to the communication array, his mind racing with purpose. Humanity had survived where empires had faltered. The Forbidden Zone had tested them, judged them, and now, in some small way, acknowledged them. He sent a message through the interstellar network, brief but decisive. To all civilizations, the heart of the Forbidden Zone has been reached. Humanity enters not as conquerors but as explorers. Fear does not bind us. Courage defines us. Watch and learn. Across the galaxy, empires received the message with a mix of awe, fear, and disbelief. A single human ship had survived the most dangerous region in known space, and emerged with knowledge that could shift power forever. Humanity's triumph. As the Aegis Dawn drifted near the crystalline core, the crew allowed themselves a moment of reflection. The trials of the zone had tested every skill, every instinct, every ounce of courage. Yet here they were, standing where civilizations long extinct had failed. Kalen addressed his crew, his voice calm but filled with quiet pride. This is humanity. Alone yet resilient. One ship, one crew facing impossible odds, and surviving. The galaxy will remember this. Not because we were strongest but because we dared. We endured where others fell. And we will continue to endure. Mira smiled faintly. We've survived the impossible. And the galaxy is watching. Solon laughed softly, exhaustion and exhilaration mingling. We've changed the rules of the zone, and the galaxy won't be the same again. Outside, the stars twisted, shimmered, and hummed with energy. The Forbidden Zone had tested humanity, and humanity had answered. One ship had claimed the heart of the zone, proving that courage, ingenuity, and audacity were forces no empire could ignore. And somewhere, far across distant civilizations, the tremor of that truth began to spread. Humanity was no longer insignificant. Humanity was unstoppable. The Aegis Dawn drifted gently through the calm at the center of the Forbidden Zone, the colossal crystalline core glowing with soft pulses of radiant energy. Outside, the swirling vortexes of the zone shimmered like molten starlight, a silent reminder of the dangers humanity had faced and overcome. Captain Kalen Voss stood at the observation deck, hands resting lightly on the railing, his gaze fixed on the horizon of shifting light. The trials of the Forbidden Zone had tested every skill, every instinct, every ounce of courage his crew possessed. Yet here they were, alive, triumphant, and forever changed. Captain, Lieutenant Mira Lythe said quietly, her voice carrying a mix of awe and relief, we've done what no one else could. The zone, it respects us. It may even acknowledge us. Kalen turned to Mira, his calm demeanor belying the weight of the moment. Acknowledgement isn't what matters. What matters is that we endured where others faltered. Humanity survives not because we are the strongest, but because we dare to act when others hesitate. We define our own destiny. Engineer Solon Eric leaned over the console, eyes still bright with excitement. And the knowledge we've gained, the map, the artifact, it's unprecedented. Humanity can now navigate the Forbidden Zone safely, explore lost civilizations, and access resources no empire has ever dreamed of. One ship, and we've rewritten the rules of the galaxy. The message to the galaxy. Kalen activated the interstellar communication array, preparing a message that would echo across the stars. To every civilization in the galaxy, humanity has entered the Forbidden Zone. We did not seek to conquer, only to endure. Where others hesitated, we dared. Where others fell, we survived. Learn from us, fear us, respect us, but never forget, courage defines humanity. Across the galaxy, alien empires received the transmission. In the command halls of the Svarn Dominion, the Zyther Collective and the Arkari Conclave, discussions paused. Leaders whispered, analysts recalculated, and fleets were recalled. One human ship, alone, had shifted the perception of an entire species. The galaxy trembled, not with fear alone, but with a newfound respect for the audacity of humanity. A glimpse into immortality. As the Aegis Dawn prepared to leave the center of the zone, the crystalline core pulsed one final time. A holographic projection emerged, showing the remnants of civilizations that had come before. They were silent, spectral observers, yet in some way the humans could feel their acknowledgement. Kalen regarded the vision with quiet reverence. They left their knowledge as a test. Some failed. We endured. That is our legacy. Not just the artifact or the map, but the courage to confront the impossible and survive. Myra's voice was soft but firm. The galaxy will tell stories about this. One ship, against the impossible. Humans alone in the deadliest sector of known space, and victorious. Solon added, a faint grin on his face, we've changed the rules, Captain. And the galaxy will never forget it. The journey home. The Aegis Dawn began its journey back through the labyrinthine corridors of the Forbidden Zone. The treacherous currents that had once threatened to crush them now guided their passage, almost as if the zone itself had granted passage to those who proved worthy. Every twist and turn reminded the crew of the trials they had overcome, the ghost fleets, the energy surges, the ancient warnings from civilizations long extinct. Kalen watched the stars streak past the observation deck. Humanity is small. Our fleets are limited. Our numbers may be few. But courage, ingenuity, and audacity, these are unlimited. That is how we endure. That is how we survive. Mira looked at him, a faint smile on her lips. And that is why the galaxy will remember us. The tremor across civilizations. As the Aegis Dawn emerged from the Forbidden Zone into the relative safety of known space, Alien empires were left grappling with the implications of what had occurred. The Svarn Dominion recalculated their strategies, the Xyther Collective debated their policies, and the Arkari Conclave reviewed every intelligence report, trying to understand how a single human ship could survive where fleets of hundreds had perished. Everywhere whispers spread. They came. They survived. And they changed the galaxy. Humanity had proven that audacity could overcome numbers, that ingenuity could overcome power, and that courage could overcome fear. One crew, one ship, and one species had redefined the rules of the galaxy. Legacy defined. On the observation deck, Kalen, Mira, and Solon stood together, gazing out at the stars. The Forbidden Zone lay behind them, a place of shadows and trials. Ahead, the galaxy awaited, the empires, the planets, the civilizations that had underestimated humanity. Kalen spoke quietly, but with the certainty of someone who had stared into the void and returned victorious. We have done more than survive. We have set a precedent. The galaxy will never forget that one human warship, one brave crew ventured into the heart of the impossible, and endured. This is humanity's legacy. Mira and Solon nodded, understanding the weight of the words. Humanity had begun its legend not through conquest, but through courage. And in every corner of the galaxy that legend would grow. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, filled with challenges yet to come. And somewhere, in every council chamber and starship bridge, alien civilizations would feel the tremor. The humans had arrived and the galaxy would never be the same again.